Closing the week with the royal service of King Charles and Queen Camilla, together with Pope Leo XIV at the Vatican Sistine Chapel, one that has taken place in 500 years. Good morning, welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Uganda on UBC TV, coming to you live from Nile Avenue. My name is Julie F. Nantaba. I am with Robert Chirabo Nyonyintono. Now, starting off, because it's been nomination week, there's lots of highlights that have transpired within the nomination exercise, and some of that is those candidates that were confirmed unopposed. They already know that they are members of Parliament come 2026 next year as the 12th Parliament begins. Now, I hope that we get to see who those candidates are with the producers behind the scenes, but also we shall have a look at the hotly contested seats as confirmed yesterday due to the whole closing of the exercise. But for now, Robert, good morning.
A lovely morning to you, Julie, and of course our viewer.
Yep.
Thank you so much for waking up with us and choosing to start your day with us. It's Friday, the evening of the weekend. I don't know what your plans are, but the good thing is for us in the journalism community, we have so much to cover. So even if it's the weekend, there is so much for us. News is everywhere. Sad news, of course, we still talk about the Kiryandongo bus accident, which claimed lives. Over 40 people perished in that accident. But we also look at the nomination. It just started. Yes, campaigns officially will kick off on the 10th of November. But when someone has been duly nominated, it means the journey has started. So now they have started warming up. How are they going to campaign? Of course, they're the lucky ones, like those in Bukedia, where you have 5 NRM come out unopposed, including the Speaker of Parliament. So for them, there is not much they are going to do, I want to assume, because they're already in Parliament. Though those that were left out, I saw them on various medias complaining how they tried, how they were told computers and all that. But I think I advise them, if they have something valid, to take legal action. If they have anything valid, rather than when you speak and you can't have evidence to that, it's more like you're tainting just the image of someone who's already made it. Because I mean, to them, they're already in Parliament. As long as they are alive and they reach that day, they have already made it to Parliament. They are unopposed. So whatever you say, you can only challenge that in the courts of law, but otherwise it's just mere say, and it won't add value to just keep you aggrieved and those that support you.
Right. Now, if we still stay within the dockets of nominations, I think one of my highlights was the comeback of John Ken Luchamuzi, the man.
Well, it's good he's back.
I think I was quite taken aback. I thought he had retired from this field.
Even the previous election, Luchamuzi tried, but I think along the way he just pulled out. You know, one thing I've come to understand, it seems politics, I don't want to say it's only a job, but when someone becomes a politician, there is something that goes on their mind and they just can't rest unless they're in politics. One time we saw Ken Luchamuzi when he was interdicted, and he brought his daughter,
yes,
who did serve. Now after, he wanted to come, and I remember the time when you had Aloysius Mukasa and Asoro there, also Luchamuzi, there was a rumor that he's coming. He also made some signs, but he never went for the nomination. Now here he is, but of course the chances, it's the people of Rubaga to decide. But if you are to go by ground, I think there's so much of heavy new blood in that constituency. Also, when I looked at the nominations there, I saw the new lady, Nasoro. You see there is so much blood in there. Even Mukaku, I saw Mukaku. I don't know if he went for the nomination as well.
Yes.
But Rubaga is not. I think for it, we can say, of course, you can't determine. Even if you did opinion polls, you won't have so much of evidence. But I think that new blood is so strong there.
Right. Now, I hope, I'm not so sure if we are ready with the hotly contested candidates, so that we have a look at them as well as the unopposed. But, well, just in case, let's start off with what we have in the local scene. Now, we begin with a campaign trail where President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni continued
to come for support in the Acholi sub-region, where hundreds continued welcoming him. Yesterday, the president campaigned in Kitgum district, where he was welcomed by ministers Henry Okello Oryem, Lilian Abar, and Beatrice Anyoa. In Kitgum district, an unmistakably wave of yellow was sweeping through the region, once divided by political colors, now finding unity under the ruling national resistance movement. From leaders to ordinary citizens, the people of Kitgum were openly declaring their confidence to the NRM and its leader Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. The National Resistance Movement presidential candidate also conducted a campaign in Padel district emphasizing major improvement in health care service and road infrastructure. President Museveni pledged to elevate Padel Health Center 5 to Health Center 4 to hospital status and upgrade all Health Center 3s to Health Center 4s. He also urged residents to embrace wealth creation campaigns in order to eradicate poverty in their homes. Alliance for National Transformation presidential candidate General Mugisha Muntu wrapped up his campaign in Bunyoro sub-region, rallying support in Kagadi district. Muntu decried of the rampant land grabbing and pledged to implement a land scheme and put an end to evictions, addressing the concerns of the people of Kagadi. In the FDC camp, people of Teso region were promised quick compensation of the cattle they lost in insurgencies and cattle raids. While conducting his campaign rally in Kumi town, the FDC presidential candidate Nathan Nanda Mafabi said government putting a committee to oversee the process is just buying time. In the Nup camp, Bulisa and Masindi residents stand out in large numbers to welcome National Unity Platform Nup presidential candidate Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu during his campaign trail in the two districts. Amidst the massive crowds, Kyagulanyi pledged to end rampant land grabbing in the region and improve service delivery across key sectors, including education, health, and infrastructure. At least 5 parliamentary candidates, all from NRM, have been declared unopposed. The returning officer of Bukedia district, Erau George, declared Annette Anita Among as unopposed for the position of the woman member of parliament for Bukedia district, while concluding the nomination exercise at the district headquarters. Erau George said no candidate had presented herself for the position of woman member of parliament during the 2 days exercise. Annette Amongi expressed gratitude for the people of Bukedia for the trust and commitment, and also promised to continue the service delivery while protecting gains as per the NRM manifesto. She reaffirmed directing more energy towards mobilizing for the presidential candidate of her party, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. Meanwhile, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayewa, was also nominated to represent the people of Buhinda North constituency in the forthcoming parliamentary term. After his nomination, Tayewa promised to engage the candidates on independent tickets and subscribe to the NRM party, not to cause division in the party. Over 50 candidates have been nominated for the parliamentary position for special interest groups for the 2-day nomination exercise held at the Electoral Commission headquarters in Kampala. These include representatives for the older persons, youth, persons with disabilities, and workers. The nominated cited how the incumbent representatives on all positions have not done enough, and now is their time to bring change across the country. The nomination of special interest groups at the Electoral Commission headquarters in Kampala entered the final day. Although the nominations commenced on a low tone earlier on in the day, later picked momentum when the youth representatives groups getting more nomination brought in the excitement. Among the youth nominated is Makere's 91st Guild President, James Churchill Sentamu, who came on an independent ticket for the position of MP Youth Central Region, promising to address issues of poverty among the youth. Patrick Mutabwire Chamutate was also nominated for the Older Persons Region, Western Region, now competing with Jacqueline Mbabazi, who was nominated yesterday for the same post. Workers' representatives also cited their manifesto. As the nomination of the special interest groups concluded yesterday, Electoral Commission Deputy Spokesperson Paul Bukenya cited that over 50 candidates have been nominated on the 4 groups of youth, elder persons, persons with disabilities, and workers. Now, that brings us to the end of our local stories. But guess how much the Electoral Commission was able to get from the fee these people were paying to be nominated? 4 billion Uganda shillings.
All going to the government
When we talk
coffers.
about the parliamentary elections, you know, you pay some money to the bank. It's part of the requirements. Now the Electoral Commission, at least all this ending, 4 billion was collected.
Indeed, the government coffers have received that in their treasury, and we believe it will be put to good stewardship, as is expected. Speaking of Churchill, the Makerere Guild president, he's one young lad I think I find rather interesting. One of the things I find interesting about him is the fact that he is more, if you follow his trajectory, he is more about the service than the wagon.
Definitely.
He's not
You know,
wagon driven.
One would wonder why this man would not even come on the NUP ticket.
Yes.
Of course, for Makerere, we were told what happened, the vetting committee, how what. But one would think would be more close to the party. But this young man, he's very focused.
Yes.
He's a true definition of a statesman and a politician who knows what it means, that it is service first.
Yes.
And him coming on an independent ticket, no doubt, I've even monitored the way he does his things.
Even with his father's influence, he'll still stick by what he is targeting. The goal is service.
And his people.
And his people. There is a line between politics, the work, and dad being a father. I love the way he calmly draws the line there without really compromising his values, and I think I'm proud.
I see a lot of potential in that young man.
Yeah, for the
if he
Gen
continues focus the way he's moving.
Yes, he has a bright future. I do agree with you. Anyways, let's move on to what we have on the foreign scene, and we're starting off with the heated discussions unfolded at the UN Security Council on Wednesday as representatives debated the situation in Gaza, where conditions remain tense despite a recently agreed ceasefire. The session highlighted ongoing disputes over compliance, humanitarian access, and the broader path to lasting peace. There would be no argument without President Trump, and the region and the world mobilized around his effort as they understood that this was a chance for life, for freedom, and for peace. They understand he alone can save Israel from itself and from the temptation of brutal and indiscriminate force and annexation that has isolated it around the world. The two votes in the Knesset yesterday demonstrate that Israel has yet to renounce this path. Majed Bamia, Palestine's deputy ambassador to the UN, said, "It is time to end this conflict once and for all, so people never experience such pain and loss again, and all people can live in peace and security," he added. Israel's permanent representative to the UN, Danny Danon, countered with accusations against Hamas. Now moving on, King Charles and Pope Leo XIV held a joint prayer service in the Vatican's Sistine Chapel on Thursday, marking the first time in 500 years that a supreme governor of the Church of England and a Catholic Pope have prayed together. Footage shows the two leaders shaking hands beneath Michelangelo's frescoes as Latin chants and English prayers filled the chapel. Queen Camilla can also be seen attending the ceremony, dressed in black. The service reportedly opened with the Lord's Prayer in English, followed by Foreign Secretary Yvette Cooper taking the stand for the first reading. Following the service, King Charles traveled to the Basilica of St. Paul outside the walls, one of Catholicism's four major basilicas. Pope Leo XIV granted the king a new ecumenical honor, naming him a royal confrater and brother of the adjoining abbey. The king was also given a specially crafted chair in the basilica's apse reserved for future British monarchs. The wooden seat bears his coat of arms alongside the ecumenical motto, that they may be one. Earlier in the day, Charles presented the Pope with an icon of St. Edward the Confessor, the 11th century English king and saint, describing it as a small token of respect. The King and Queen's visit to the Vatican forms part of a state trip aimed at strengthening relations between the Anglican Communion and the Catholic Church. Closing it with Matters the Continent, South Africa's Johannesburg has launched an operation aimed at strengthening security, enforcing order, and improving public infrastructure ahead of the upcoming G20 Leaders Summit, scheduled for November. Quote unquote, the city of Johannesburg is 100% ready to host the G20 Summit, Fila emphasized. Footage captured on Thursday shows law enforcement and immigration officers deployed across the central business district inspecting passports and travel documents, while some residents were detained in police vehicles. Workers were also seen cleaning weeds and repairing streetlights. Quote unquote, today with the illegal immigrants, we have taken a processed further to see if they are legally in the country, Fila added. Fila explained that these operations were part of the city's preparations for the G20, aiming to eliminate criminal activity while ensuring residents receive full city services and can move freely and safely. We've been conducting ongoing operations focusing on our three core mandates, which are crime prevention by law enforcement and traffic management, as well as traffic laws enforcement, he added. Well, that brings us to the end of what we have on the foreign scene, and it's time we look at what we have in the dailies today.
Yeah, but of course don't forget to remind all graduates that are going to be part of that 27th graduation of Nkumba University. That graduation is this Saturday at your main campus, that is Nkumba University along Entebbe Road, and Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, UBC TV, will be broadcasting that live. So if you're a parent, if you're a relative, you will watch the graduation ceremony live on UBC TV. So please, the graduates of that cohort, please ensure that all is well with you, and you also keep time, not forgetting that only 3 people you will be allowed to access the venue with. 2, either your parents and you. And remember, it's well organized this time, that each chair will have a name, so you won't have to hassle where you're going to sit or exchange chairs. So UBC TV, just a reminder, we'll have that. Let's look at what is transpiring in the print media this morning. Now, we have MP nominations. Aspirants get EC approval. That is in the New Vision. And of course, a picture there where we see Bishop Wamika's candle burns out after 46 years of service. That is Bishop Wamika. And UWA staff jailed over 9 billion fraud. Now court summons 4 more others. And probe into Chiriandongo accident starts. What exactly caused the accident where I lost so many lives? Now celebrities dropping mics for boxing gloves. Who are those? The Vision has that. Now allow me quickly go to the Daily Monitor this morning. On the Daily Monitor, we have Chiriandongo bus accident survivors narrate ordeal. I see a picture of one there. Still looking at the Daily Monitor, EC bags 4 billion shillings as MP nominations close. Now, there we have pictures of some that were nominated yesterday. And among, I see Matthias Mpuga, Yusuf Nsibambi, Hilary Onek, I see Honorable Theodore Sechkubo, Honorable Jacob Oboth, Honorable Mary Achambade, Honorable Judith Nabakoba, Persis Namuganza, I see Honorable Frank Tumwebaze, Salam Musumba. Well, there are quite a number. Musa Echweru as well, and many. Now, Judy's friend here comes, the Lizard, talking about EC bags 4 billion as MP nomination clause. Now, the Lizard comes and says democracy is expensive. That is the Lizard. So over to you to take us through what our neighbors have in their print media.
Right, we're looking at the Daily Nation in Kenya. Another cabinet reshuffle looms. That's the story we have. As a headline in the Daily Nation, Truth President and KANU leader set to cement deal after burying the hatchet. Interesting. Raila San installed as head of family. Also, junior school teachers fight for autonomy goes to court. And looking at other national news, pressure mounting for the release of 2 Kenyans still missing in Uganda. Those are some of the stories that you can look forward to in the dailies. Now, quickly, let's have a look at some of those that came off unopposed when it comes to the official nominations. Anita Annett among woman MP Bukedea under the NRM party, already confirmed as she is unopposed unless otherwise. Unopposed candidates Thomas Tayebwa, MP Ruhinda North NRM, looks like the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker, all unopposed. Lillian Obiale Paparu, Arua District for the NRM party, under the NRM party, also unopposed. And
let me tell you, in the northern, yesterday I was hosting an aspirant for the mayorship of Gulu City, and he told me in northern now, NRM is a power.
Emmanuel Nato Banya, Koboko County NRM as well, unopposed. And still unopposed, Ruth Rujoki Mushabe, woman MP Chiruhura, also unopposed under the NRM ticket. Now, looking at those that are hotly contested seats, main contenders for the Eastern Region, Tororo woman MP, it's Sarah Opendi and Phoebe Awere, who is independent, Opendi being the candidate for the NRM party. Now, moving on, we do have Eastern Region still Bunyole West, James Waluswaka, NRM, and independent is Geoffrey Mutiwa. Main contenders for West Budama Northeast, we do have Richard Owere NRM and Fox Odoy on independent.
That is a battle.
Yes. Now, interesting, Abdul Katuntu is on independent for Bugweri constituency and contesting with NRM candidate Wandera Sadala. And Yusuf Mutembuli for Bunyole East on independent ticket with Nagumu of the NRM party. Now, looking at Asumani Basarirwa of Jema Bujiri Municipality contesting with NRM's Okecho Francis, and Persis Namuganza coming independent Bukono West constituency, pardon me, and then Mariam Persis is against Maganda Emmanuel of the NRM party.
NRM, but NRM
yes,
independent.
Yes. Mariam Naigaga of the NRM party against Nakisti Brenda independent for Namutumba woman MP. Another one to look forward to. Now, when it comes to Iganga municipality, we do have Peter Mugema of independent against Nasa Mudiobole of the NUP party.
Mugema there.
And looking at Kamuli municipality, we do have, I think these are 2 NRMs, but one went independent. And that is Mastula Namatovu on the NRM party and Baroda Watongola on independent ticket.
So whoever wins the party
still
signing
gains.
a memorandum there.
Yes, Bulamoji Northwest, Frederick Ngobi on the independent ticket and George Patrick on the NRM tickets. Hotly contested seats, Agnes Taka, independent Bujiri District Woman MP against Eunice Namatende of the NRM party.
My friend, that is a battle. Those tweets are battle.
And Esther Mbayo, independent, really leaning towards NRM, and NRM Annette Nabidi for Luka Woman MP.
Those are the challenges of you get it now dividing.
I know.
Those are the challenges of these independents, because
very interesting.
Some areas are NRM areas, predominantly NRM areas. Now, when you have this division, if you're not very careful, the vote can slide in your hands like a mice.
Right.
And you end up losing it, but...
I know. Anyways, we do have a short break right now. Of course, you need to enjoy some of the music that breaks your tension for a Friday. But when we get back, we'll definitely be engaging in a conversation. And this time around, if you are into public speaking, we're having a conversation with the Toastmasters. Good morning.
Live from UPC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda. Live from UPC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
One-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwa.
A weekly face-to-face conversation focusing on accountability, inspiration, information, and sensitization of the public from the various sources such as inspirational profiles.
Having disability is not inability.
Every Friday 9 p.m. it's one-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwa.
Don't you see anywhere that you would give a credit in the fight against COVID?
My role as the owner of the country is not to, be preoccupied by giving credit to my servant.
We have said that if we are to talk to General Museveni, there